Welcome to Two Circles LtGenZameeruddinShah. It's been 15 months since you assumed charge, and once you had joined, you said that it's your aspiration and dream to make this university once again #1 university in India. It's been 15 months now. How far do you think you have succeeded in your?
Well, we have succeeded partially. As I said that my initial task was to re-establish a rule of law and order in the university. I think we have succeeded in that. We've had unhindered academic activity for the last 15 months, and we have done on the academic and placement front. The main problem, of course, is the living conditions of the students. I am very, very concerned, because unless we improve that, nothing else can improve, because a person who stays in the slums behaves like a slum dweller. So we have got this grant of 100 crores and a special grant of 50 crores. Inshallah, we will build hostels for girls and boys, space out the children. This year, what I intend doing is concentrating all my energies on improvement in academic activity, research, revision of syllabi. These are the few things which we are concentrating on, only academics this year. So I think, inshallah, in about 3.5 years' time, we should achieve our aim of becoming the #1 university in India.
I agree. Situation has considerably improved. It's a good point you raised about academics and academic research. When I talk to particularly research scholars or teachers in the campus, one thing they often point out is that the kind of bureaucratic hurdle they often face in terms of getting projects, or like when they want to go on sabbatical for further research or postdoctorate or for some kind of fellowship, because the new UGC guidelines, according to the new UGC guidelines, they see it as an hindrance in their promotion. So have you tried to, or do you intend to do something on that front?
Yes, we will try and improve the research work being done. We are trying to improve the exposure of our teachers and staff to modern universities across the world, especially UK and USA, because I feel that academic activity will improve from that. So it's really going to be, and we are also starting the concept, or restarting the concept of the summer school, where we'll have visiting professors from USA coming in and giving specific lectures for specific subjects. So a lot of activity, academic activity is planned, and we do hope that the output of our students will improve.
Will professors from AMU will also be sent abroad, or only?
Yes. No, it will be professors and students in the teachers-students exchange program, both.
You said your focus this year would be on academics and academic research, but I'm given to believe that there are almost 400 vacant positions in university across all departments. There has been very few selection committee even since you have taken charge. So how do you intend to? And recently President of India, Honorable Pranab Mukherjee, also said that these seats in central universities need to be filled. So do you intend to enhance that process?
Well, let me just tell you that we have finished the general selection committees of 1/3 of the departments in the university. So it's not that we have not bothered about it. What has delayed the whole process is the confusion in the calculation of API scores.
Yes.
That matter has been resolved, and inshallah from next month onwards there will be regular general selection committees, and I hope that we will make up the shortfall of teachers within a year or two.
Like in this connection only, there have been like history department of Urdu. These are center of excellence and have been pride of AMU. But like take for example Urdu, there are out of 40, 22 vacant positions as far as I know. So these in a way is hindering the development of not only Urdu and Urdu literature, but overall academic environment.
I entirely agree with you. Actually, I am not in favor of this system of guest faculties, We want to fill up the vacancies in all the departments. It has taken me a little longer than what I thought it would, but I am at it, and I entirely agree with you that the deficiencies must be made up at the earliest. People must get their promotion on time, and the deficiencies must be filled up. That will be my aim.
In your Independence Day speech, you mentioned about this grant being cut by UGC, and you said that you'll raise this issue to the highest in the government. Have you raised this issue so
Yes,
far?
I have raised the issue. I have written to the HRD minister saying that there is no reason for the grant of 33 crores being cut. I have brought it out. What the MHRD is justifying is that this amount was an extra amount given in the 11th plan for repairs and special repairs and other things. So my point is that this was part of the 11th plan and it should not affect the 12th plan. I have raised the issue in a letter to the HRD minister, and I will be meeting him very shortly, and I am certain that he will concede to our point of view.
Continuing with the academics, but your focus on the new courses and new departments being set up. Recently, International Academic Studies Center is being established. So, could you elaborate on more on the process?
Well, Faculty of International Affairs will really comprise of strategic studies, disaster management, foreign languages. These are the major things. Basically, we want our students to get avenues for further employment. There's a huge demand for people who are trained in international affairs, and of course we want exposure of our students to foreign languages: Chinese, Spanish, French, German, Hebrew. These are all enhancing the employment opportunities of our students, and we will give a lot of stress on this.
But Hebrew is an interesting subject you have raised, because starting Hebrew course would mean maybe signing some kind of MOU with some university in Israel. How do you intend to do that?
No,
because that may have some kind of negative repercussion in AMU.
I agree, but this was the demand from the academic community. I had not included Hebrew earlier, but I quite rightly, when it was pointed out in the academic council meeting that we should also study Hebrew, I acceded to the point, and it's not necessary that we have somebody from Israel who will teach us Hebrew. We will see if there are other avenues open.
In May, you had spoken about the Center for Strategic Studies, and you said that the center would be named after Tipu Sultan. Is there any progress on that front?
Once we inaugurate it, I stand by my commitment.
It will be
named after
Tipu Sultan.
That's right.
And when, by what, is there some time frame? When do you expect it?
The proposal has gone to the Ministry of Human Resources. Everything, in this bureaucratic world, everything takes a little time. But certainly by December, we should hope to have everything in position.
There are many students, not only in AMU but also in Jamia, who come from, who pass out from madrasa and then later they join universities like AMU and Jamia or other universities. Recently, you started this bridge course for madrasa students, but I feel that seat is too low because hundreds of students from madrasa come and only 50 seats are there, I guess. So, is there some kind of plan to further increase the seat or make it more diverse?
See, when you start anything new, you have to start small. And you know that Aligarh Muslim University, the facilities are for 7,000 to 8,000 students. We have 28,000. So we are bursting at the seams. So I really can't absorb more than 50 for the time being. But let me tell you that I realize that the madrasas are the largest educational network in the country, and we must modernize them. And this is the way forward. If madrasas students find avenues for academics, modern scientific education, I'm sure that they would be ready to come. There's been a massive response to advertisement for this course, the bridge course. We plan to start with 50, we plan to start small. Let us get some experience, because we would have run into big problems. Where do we accommodate these madrasa students? How do we deal with them? So that's why we are starting small, and we'll see which way it goes and gradually increase it.
across the country, particularly in North India, there are lots of vacant seats for Urdu teachers. And one reason government often gives is that there are not enough teachers, trained teachers available. Jamia has started a center to develop Urdu teachers. I personally feel that AMU has some kind of responsibility towards Urdu and development of Urdu. Do you have some kind of plan in that connection?
Well, we certainly, because Urdu is a language which is an Indian language. It originated in the Indo-Gangetic plains, and it is unnecessarily got a religious tag to it. Actually, it's very much a language of India, and it is a mother tongue of most Muslims in India, and we want to preserve and encourage its use. So that is why we are giving absolute importance to Urdu. As I said, that earlier Urdu was compulsory in AMU, so was Hindi, so was English, but the marks of Urdu and Hindi were not counted. Most of the students, of course, are studying Urdu because they are from Hindi medium schools. So anybody who studied Hindi has to take Urdu in AMU. So that is one of our ways of encouraging the study, and we hope that we will be able to increase the job prospects of Urdu speaking students.
From academics, I would now shift to more of managerial thing and the new centers which AMU is starting. Government proposes to develop these new centers as full-fledged university, and I am given to believe that you have in a way agreed to it in some form, but there is resistance from the larger AMU community that these centers have not developed so much to stand on itself, and if it's handed over to the government and if government changes next year, which is more likely to happen, then in that case it may lose its minority character. So would you want to elaborate on that, on your position particularly?
See, our position is that we will do anything for the educational enhancement of Muslims in particular. I mean, this is a secular university, but it was primarily for the millet. Our stand on the conversion of these centers is that in case, as has been assured to us by the Ministry of Minority Affairs, that if these centers are converted into universities, the minority character will be taken care of. So if that is taken care of, I have no problems in case these centers become full-fledged universities. As you see that these centers have not been given the due share of funds, but when they become in universities, I am sure that the Maulana Azad Foundation, under whom the universities will function, they will be able to get larger grants, and I think benefit education in general to a great degree, especially in minority-dominated pockets.
Mallapuram Center and Murshidabad Center had begun before you joined. Kishanganj Center is more likely to maybe begin under your tenure if everything goes according to plan. So could you elaborate more on your plans and your vision for the Kishanganj Center?
Well, Kishanganj Center is that we are trying to straight away start a course this year of B.Ed.
This year?
This year. It may start a little later by October or November. And the central government is very, very keen to have the inauguration of the center, and we are working towards it, and I think we should very soon be able to start it.
Let's come to concerns of the students. There has been almost threefold hike. I know you tried to rationalize it a bit, but still there is almost threefold hike in the fees, and that seems to be big concern for most of the students, because most of the students in AMU come from, not most, but quite many of them come from poor economic background. So that has been a big concern for them, and it seems that in years to come it would increase even more. So how do you see it tackling between economic front and the students' concern?
Your statement that there is a threefold hike is absolutely wrong. It is not a threefold hike. There has been an increase of 40 to 50% in some courses. Why this has happened is that we've got to generate funds from internal resources. as you are aware, there's been no hike in fees in AMU for the last 15 years. And if you look at it, that every 5 years, the cost of index doubles. So in actual fact, it should have been a 4-fold increase and not a 3-fold increase. But we realized that the bulk of our students are from underprivileged families. So we did not want to impose too much of a financial burden, and that is why when I received some complaints from students and others, the parents of children, we tapered down the hike. I think it is not unreasonably large. It is certainly not 3-fold percent. It is only 30 to 40%.
What is the status of, I know there were problems when election was conducted last year. What is the status of students union election? Is it going to happen this year, or?
I am a firm believer in democratic traditions, but it will all depend on the situation in the university. And when I am convinced that the students union will follow their charter of duties and not misbehave and not try and run the university, I will see whatever is required. But interaction and student representation in all facets of university life is a must, and I believe in it. But students must know where their responsibilities start and their privileges end. That is something that they have not realized. I did have large lawlessness in the university after we formed the students union. It was a lesson for me, and we are taking corrective steps.
But will it happen anytime soon, or it may take some time?
It will depend on the situation on the university, and on my aim is to carry out unhindered academic activity. Unfortunately, we were not able to do that for some period of time last year. So I will see how things shape out. But as I said, I reiterate, I am a firm believer in democratic traditions.
You raised the issue of law and order. Recently, you had written a letter to the students' community about katta culture and how you need to we all need to curtail it. What kind of steps have you taken, and do you feel that you have succeeded in some ways?
Well, I think we have. One of the big problems of the university was unauthorized occupants in the halls of residence. There were some non-student armed thugs, which I will call them. They were residing in the halls. I think we managed to get rid of them, and we will make sure that entry is only for bona fide students. We are going to take very, very strict measures against unauthorized occupants. So that itself will prevent this katta culture from permeating and influencing the students. In fact, a large number of students were being frightened and blackmailed, and I would say that the bulk of students support the measures we've taken to clean out the hostels of illegal occupants who were generally armed.
You have focused on developing your sports facilities, hockey stadium, I guess even golf club, golf course. So could you elaborate on that?
Well, a golf club is low on my priorities. I've got other priorities. But as I said, if I don't want to invest any of the AMU money in a golf course, if we get a sponsor, we will make a golf course, because I want to give AMU students the best that is available. Ours is the only university with a riding club, and why should ours not be the only university with a golf course? See, we have brought games to the doorsteps of all our students. We have 19 basketball courts, 19 volleyball courts, where only 2 existed before I came. We have the AstroTurf hockey ground, and I am glad to say that we have just received the letter from the army. They are giving us 4 brand new horses. We will have to collect them from Saharanpur, and at the price of 8,000 per horse. We were earlier buying horses at 1 lakh per horse. The army is going to give it to us for 8,000. So hopefully by mid of September, we should have these 4 new seats in our stables. We want to establish new stables Our stables are more than 100 years old, so we want to establish new stables. We are encouraging the entry of sportsmen into the university as we did last year. We have made considerable progress. We won the All India University Cricket. We won the North Zone Cricket. We won the North Zone Badminton tournament for girls. And Sara Naqvi is badminton player girl. She's representing the country. So inshallah AMU will do well and win laurels for the country again.
You come from defense yourself. Over the years there has been consistent decrease in number of students from AMU clearing either defense or civil service examinations, and I'm given to believe you have tried to focus on that, but I don't see much success so far. How do you intend to your plans, and how do you intend to implement it?
My area of expertise is the armed forces. We started training for NDA. We selected 40 young boys for the NDA, and I am glad to say that we have not been unsuccessful. 12 of our boys have qualified in the written examination. 2 have already joined NDA. Out of the 10 who remain, I hope 8 or 9 do get entry to NDA. So we have not been unsuccessful as far as the armed forces are concerned. My next concern is entry into the IAS, IFS, the central services, and I hope to give attention to those also. My initial aim of encouraging students to join the armed forces has been successful to a very large extent.
I deliberately kept this question for the last because I guess you have got tired and irritated get answering and justifying your appointment as VC, although you do not come from academic background. However, my question is not directly that, but recently in an interview to Indian Express you said that institutions like AMU and Jamia have other concerns that require, in a way, that you suggested that they in a way require people from either army or administrative background. That answer seems to me very problematic, because that in a way you are reiterating the general notion about Muslims that they by nature or they have become a bit unruly, and so they need to be controlled, and that seems to me very problematic.
No, I did not. Firstly, I did not want to include Jamia at all. I only talked about the conditions in Aligarh Muslim University. You are aware that we've had some problems, and let me also tell you that I was not imposed by anybody. The community elected me. The community elected me because they wanted a change, and inshallah I will bring about that change for the betterment of our students and to make sure that Aligarh Muslim University becomes a brand name again, which it was in the academic field.
Just an add-on to this last question, you have justified your from besides you pro VC and registrar's appointment from people from the army background, because you said you can have some kind of trust, more trust on them rather than earlier in an interview you said in Center for West Asian Studies. That had raised quite a bit of eyebrows, because okay fine, for management and for administration you needed people whom you could maybe trust more, or whom you know well, but even in academics some people see it as people from army or civil service background intruding into academics. So how do you respond to that?
I think you brought up this point which I should have clarified myself. The West Asian Studies is going to be the nucleus, or it is going to be the starting point of our establishment of the new Center for International Affairs, number one. Secondly, let me tell you that General Dwivedi, his track record in the academic field is that he already has a doctorate. He is an expert in the Chinese language. He has served 3.5 years in China. He knows China very well. So this is only one of the steps we are taking for the establishment of the Faculty of International Affairs. He will not remain in West Asia department. and I say that get me a better qualified man and I'll hire him. But I found General Dwivedi to be best qualified for pushing through our agenda of forming this this faculty as soon as possible, and also because of the fact that he has an interpreter's certificate in the Chinese language. That is one of the languages we are going to push through. If you can find me a better person, I'll hire him.
But it's Center for West Asian, you're focusing more on China.
No. I said it is only the starting point till we have a new center established. You have to have some place.
Yes.
So this is the place where we are starting. But General Dwivedi is not going to be teaching in the West Asian department, although mind you, he has a doctorate in West Asian affairs. He has a doctorate, he has a PhD in West Asian affairs. So he's well qualified, he's also well qualified. But basically I got him because he's an expert in Chinese.
Thank you so much, Lieutenant General Shah. It was a pleasure talking to you. And
Pleasure
I
was
hope
mine.
you all the best, and I hope you succeed in your plans.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. I'm counting on you.